I see you, James, and this may be the last time I use that phrase. Hi, James.
Hello, I see you and hear you as well. Why would it be the last time?
I just watched a Channel 5 video. You know, Andrew Callahan from Channel 5 used to be a Vice guy. He's a great interviewer, interviews all kinds of weird people. Interviewed this friggin' weird life coach, and that's how he begins all his sessions. He says, "I see you, brother," while they're naked to each other, and it's super creepy. And I just can't, I can't say the same phrase that this guy says to begin his kung fu sexual life coach sessions.
I feel like that guy is stealing so much from, was it psychokinesis from The Brood?
Maybe. You saw it too, obviously, then, huh?
No, I'm just saying this entire thing is reminding me of the dude from The Brood getting all those, I don't remember, psychokinesis, I think that's what it was called, but that's what it feels like. But god damn it, Steve, you can't conceive what we saw power in this trailer.
I swear to God, I loved it so much, man. I mean, I'm still on... I don't know where I am about this thing. I'm in Teleran Royale about this one, buddy.
If you loved it so much, why don't you marry it?
I think I will. I asked the YouTube clip last night, and it gave me a solid maybe. So we'll see.
Okay. See, I was going to... So, quick thing. We started recording this episode a week ago, right when the trailer released.
Correct.
But I was in Colorado, recording in a closet, in... not the best Wi-Fi, and my voice started going like, I don't even know what it was doing because I haven't heard it. But man, I was in a groove and I don't remember a goddamn thing. And I thought Steve was just going to be like, hey, that will be the beginning. Beep. And then, hey, cut into this audio right now. But that's not the case. I was going to ask, is there a trailer that you got so hyped about that you just kept watching it over and over again?
Yeah. The first one I remember this happening for might have been for Star Wars when they started doing the prequels, because I was
hell yeah.
very much into that. So that might have been the first one that Sam and myself like looked at and dissected and got really into. That's the first one I can think of. But yeah, it happens all the time.
I can't remember any in my adult life, but speaking of Sam and Max Freelance Police.
Yep.
It is a TV show, but it was also supposed to be the first 3D point-and-click adventure from LucasArts that was Sam and Max related.
Oh.
And the trailer dropped, and I downloaded it and watched it over and over again, and I would constantly refresh, just like I would always refresh the ShadyRecords.com website when Young Z was announced as he's from The Outsiders, but he was announced as, hey, I'm on Shady Records. It was on D12 World, just like they did with Obi Trice, and I would constantly be like, when's he gonna put out music? Never happened, just like the Sam and Max Freelance Police, because at that time, LucasArts was just pretty much canceled every game that was not Star Wars related and just said bye-bye. They were no longer this amazing place for animators and creators to come and just do wild shit, because that's the only reason Sam and Max Hit the Road was created, because they kind of had carte blanche to do really whatever they wanted.
Right. And LucasArts, man, speaking of Star Wars, that Star Wars pod racer game, did you ever play that when you were a kid?
I did, and I've replayed it, and I think it sucks now.
It does suck, but
okay, good.
I spent so much time playing that game with Caleb. He was young at the time, and trying to explain to him, like, our computer can't keep up with the frame rate of this game, so we're never going to win. It's never going to happen, so we're just doing the best we can here. He would get so frustrated and so determined, and it's paid off. You know, he's a determined adult now too, but Jesus, speaking of LucasArts, I can't forget about that game and how much time we spent at the desktop with that sucker.
See, I have also a complicated story with that. We had Elaine who introduced me to Sam and Max Hit the Road and all the like the cool shit in my life can be, besides rap music, like stringed back to her. She worked for my dad, was the CAD designer at his business. So, or is the D in CAD design? Computer animated or computer assisted design work. So maybe the CAD operator. It would be like ATM machine. The MS machine. So I guess you could say designer. No, don't do that, James. Would bootleg a lot of video games for us. So I believe that's how we got into possession of Pod Racer. And somehow a chunk of it got like scratched so hard on top that it like ripped the foiling off from it. And us as dumb kids were like, well, we just got to fill that in. Let's get some nail polish and put that in there. It's like, no, that will not work whatsoever. And I think Elaine also got us the Beast Wars game for PC, but our computer could not handle that. That was like the next generation up. And I remember us being in West Virginia just begging my dad, hey, when we get home, you're going to handle this this whole upgrading our computer stuff. And he was like, I don't know, James, we're on vacation. I was like, well, you're on vacation. All I can think about is playing Beast Wars for PC.
Oh, yes. The most recent trailer that I've been watching over and over again is this one, of course.
Oh, you can't even conceive the power.
And whose power? We don't even know who she's talking about, but I know exactly the point that you were getting on a roll. So, I mean, I got my exact same notes in front of me from last week. So let's go ahead and hit it.
Hell yeah, brother.
So the first thing we see is it's almost a spoiler for season 2, but they're giving it to us right away.
Give it to me, Daddy?
Yeah, this is when Moraine is talking about the guy, the dark one that ran defeated the nicely dressed fellow with the beard. And she says that they didn't defeat the Dark One. They've only set their strongest lieutenant free, which tells us that that guy with the handsome fellow with the beard is just a lieutenant for the Dark One, not the Dark One himself. That's what they're implying there.
I don't think that, though. I just think that was the Dark One, and whatever they did, it would be like if the Dark One is elsewhere. Like, we don't know where exactly they reside. I mean, I don't. So let's say where Rand did this thing that cracked, or maybe like if you were to hit, what's it called? Ice. You were to hit ice and it could crack, and even though you can't get through right here, it could web out into elsewhere to allow something to come through. I'm thinking that happened. The Dark One isn't fully ready to be released into the world, but one of his cronies is. Also, we don't know what instance exactly. I know it's heavily implied like the thing they did in the last episode is the instance of what the thing is they did. You know what I'm saying, right?
I do,
Moraine
yes.
says, hey, in this act, we didn't destroy him. We merely set someone free. It could be something in episode 2 of season 2 that they're talking about.
Yeah, I guess so. And you also see, like, at that exact same time that they show the dude with the beard and they show the news footage, you see, like, his hand grasping, like, another hand that's bloody. Could be some sort of red herring, you know. Anytime you see a trailer like this, any scene could be a dream or it could be a fantasy. We're hoping that they're reality because it looks like he's reaching out to somebody else and pulling them. So hopefully he's not working alone anymore. That's what it kind of looked like to me anyway. And they showed... Oh, you go ahead. Sorry.
Before I watch any trailer, specifically this one, I am playing Bohemian Rhapsody to be like, is this real life or is this a fantasy?
We all must do so. And then they're sitting all around that round table, and you see our handsome bearded guy at the foot of that table. His chair is higher than the rest of theirs, and again, that could be some sort of dream, but it looks like they're a bunch of dark hooded figures. You can see they're wearing clothes underneath their cloaks.
No dicks. I'm very pissed.
No dicks? What do you mean? Like, they would never show a dick in the trailer, would they?
No, but of course they're clothed underneath the robes. That's what I was commenting on.
What I was commenting on is you can see their clothes. You can see one figure has looks like a red dress or a red like robe. Another figure has like a blue dress or a blue robe. Other figures you can see like white cufflinks sticking out.
Shoot. Do you think this is the like Aes Sedai detractors coming and forming like, hey, we're all friends of Dark One?
Right, yeah, that's exactly what I'm implying. I mean, I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, because honestly, it could be anything, like I said. I mean, people who have read the books know this very loosely could possibly tie into something, but this is a new image that, has never been portrayed in the books before, so we can only speculate. So
when I said there's no dicks, you were thrown off because I should have said there's no pussies. There's no titties flopping
There's
out.
no free genitalia. They're all clothed, and they're all probably on their proper underwear and things like that too. Because this is a proper time. Even though the world is broken, everybody's doing their best to look nice.
Yeah, and in this podcast, it's all paid genitalia, guys. No free genitalia.
Nope.
If you want this, you have to pay upwards of, I don't know, $10,000. Nicole might be okay with you.
Yep.
Poking at it.
That's a hefty paywall, but I wanted to say
to come in contact with it.
Speaking of clothes, I don't know if you noticed this, but I sure did. Like the last season of Wheel of Time, season 1, something that kind of detracted me from being immersed in fantasy was the costuming, which was impeccable costuming, but it looked like it just came right off the rack. It looked like, there was, no streetwear on anybody's clothes. Everybody looked pristine and perfect and no dust. And in this trailer, everybody has dusty, dirty clothes on. So it looks like they finally got the hint. And they want to, put some gritty realism into the show. Like the color palettes are a little grittier than they were last season. I'm liking the way it looks. I think it's going to be I don't know.
There was an extra wearing Jinko jeans, which that I'm surprised people weren't like, the Starbucks cup. But it's like, this dude's wearing Jinkos. That's weird.
That was a behind the scenes footage of a cameraman, James.
Okay.
Oh, but let's talk about our characters because they all look like they're on different paths.
Hold on. I hope we start spreading this stereotype that cameramen all wear Jinkos.
They either wear Jinkos or skinny jeans. It's one or the other. No in-betweens.
I probably, if you people who have the Steadicam on them, they're wearing Jinkos because you gotta be mobile. But if you're at a crane just monitoring it, sitting down, you're probably in skinny jeans.
Yeah, looking tight. I like that look. Anyway, Rand is looking pretty dapper now. He's got that shaved head, and every time we see him, he's wearing some nice clothes. Do you remember where Rand was at last time? Like the last time we saw Rand in season 1?
Wasn't he just waltzing through the Blight?
No, like he and Moraine waltzed through the Blight, met the guy with the beard. He did that big chakra thing. Moraine had lost her power. Remember, she said that she couldn't touch the source anymore, or she couldn't touch the power anymore. And then Rand was like, just tell them I'm gone. Just tell them I'm dead. And then Moraine did her little Aes Sedai lie to kind of strike that point home. So right now Moraine is powerless, and Rand just waltzed off and looks like he got hooked up with a fancy job. He's looking good. And Matt, on the other hand, and Perrin are not looking so good in this trailer. Both of them are pretty dirty, pretty scuzzy looking, still wearing their old, rags and stuff. Do you remember the last time we saw Matt? I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah, he walked out of the poofy thing.
Yep.
The
that poofy
Stargate.
Yep.
Also, Rand looks like Axel from Twisted Metal. Because wasn't he strapped to a big wheel?
Oh yeah, that
head?
scene. Hell yes. nobody knows what to make of that scene because it's just, I don't know if it's, yeah, go ahead.
I think they got Peacock's Twisted Metal and Wheel of Time footage mixed up. So I think the actor who's playing Rand is also playing Axel in Peacock's Twisted Metal.
Oh yeah, cross promo. I love when they do that, man. Like with the Smile movie, they're doing all that cross promo everywhere. So
or like many Deadpool things. He's like, hey guys, also be sure to check out my chimichangas in reruns of The Golden Girls.
Speaking of Deadpool, somebody is not dead that we thought was. Last time we saw Loyal, he was getting stabbed by Padden Fane. Do you remember that? And we were bummed out about that. Did you catch shots of Loyal in this trailer?
Yeah, I was just like, hell yeah, man. He's, I hope, a focal character. I forgot he got stabbed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was very odd that they added that. You can see him a couple times, too. And that's I don't know, that could have been a huge surprise in episode 3 or something, but I guess it's a huge surprise in episode 1.
Maybe that's Loyal's sister, Goyle.
It could be Loyal and Goyle.
Because Goyle's just another word, like a pronunciation of girl. Hey, you Goyles over there.
Some Goyles.
What? A villain in Scooby-Doo, I'm pretty sure, talks like that.
One of the Goyles coming back, we see Suan Sanchez. She's the leader of the Aes Sedai. You might remember the tattooed lady with all white. We saw a nice shot of her with a big bushel of flowers on top of her head coming out of a carriage. So she's still around. She's got a role to play in season 2.
But we did not see a big bush because remember, no genitals.
Not this time. Not this time. We did see a lot of shirtless Lan though. They like to give us the male gaze or the female gaze, I guess, a lot because there's a lot of shirtless Lan working out with his sword. A lot of shirtless Rand
and shirtless
as well.
Rand, yeah. Well, he's on that wheel for Peacock.
He's looking good too. Okay, I want to say this about that actor. Not only has he been working his body out for this role, he's also been working out his mind because he just posted on Twitter maybe 2 weeks ago that he had finished the Wheel of Time series. He had read his way all through them, and he did like a real nice post about the ending and how much he loved it. And so it's hats off, Joshua, whatever your name is, Yashua.
I thought you were going to say he's been working out his mind because on Instagram he just posted a picture of his certificate from Mensa. I was going to be like, okay, all right.
I'm 95% smarter than everybody else in the room.
Ooh, baby. There was something I wanted to comment on. Oh, maybe he shaved his head so people wouldn't think he's one of those super warriors.
Oh yeah, the redhead dudes, the Aiel.
Yeah,
absolutely. That's kind of my number one reason why he might have done it as well, just to hide that red hair, because maybe he's getting into some trouble somewhere.
This is what he should do is, like, instead of cutting it all off, you still want those locks, you mush up some avocado and put it in there and it dyes your hair green.
Absolutely. Dyed hair is totally a thing in this world, so why did he shave his head? I don't know. He looks good bald, I gotta say. He looks very good bald.
Can the Aes Sedai dye hair? Aes Sedai my hair?
They would dye the hair the color of their Aja, probably. So, you know.
And I should have said, with magic, can they Aes Sedai some hair?
I don't know why not. I mean, when you go through the book, they get more and more advanced with their magic. So, absolutely, Egwene could figure something out. Egwene is somebody we haven't talked about yet. We see one shot of her looking pretty serene and white. That's where you saw your Jinko cameraman. And then we see another scene of Egwene looking in, like, she's screaming, crying, and she has, like, yeah, there you go. And then she has something around her neck. Any guesses what's happening with her? Like a S&M thing? What's going on?
It was a candy necklace, right?
Yeah.
Or was it a nerd's rope stretched out? That's how I like to do my BDSM. I like Nicole to strangle me with a nerd's rope. Because I have a very sensitive windpipe. Like, it collapses even if you just, like, wind blows on it. So start getting that nerd's rope. It will not tear. I know that's what everyone was thinking. Like, that's the joke. Like, it immediately rips. No, Nicole just applies a little bit of pressure and, ooh, baby, autoerotic asphyxiation.
That's why she's crying, maybe, because, like, she's screaming because her nerd rope is getting destroyed and she can't enjoy it anymore.
Yeah.
I feel for her.
She wanted to eat it, but then some beau of hers is like, no, strangle. And she's like, no, we don't shower every day in this universe. Your neck is real gross. And he's like, well, clean it with your spit. And she's like, no, that'll get my nerd rope spitty. And then he's like, well, it's going to get spitty anyway when it goes in your mouth. And she says, fair point. All right.
Yeah, Gawain's reasonable above all else. Nynaeve, though, maybe not the most reasonable person. Did you catch her practicing with a sword?
No.
Yeah, there was a shot of her, and she did not have braids in her hair. It's like she got not a shave like Ram, but it looked like she got a haircut. And she's practicing swords with a couple of warders. And I think that's a pretty smart idea. Like, even if you're an Aes Sedai and can wield magic, we know from Moraine that the magic you can be blocked from it. So you need to work out your body just as well as your mind. Our friend Rand knows this too.
She's going to be the dehydrated Aes Sedai, the warderless Aes Sedai.
Yeah, she's her own warder. She bonds herself. Hell yes.
Damn.
And she is a loner. That totally fits in with her character. But I love seeing her like wielding a weapon. Again, I mean, we've seen it before because she's killed a bunch of Trollocs in season 1 and she's used a bunch of weapons. But to see her like trying to master a weapon, I think it's fantastic. Hats off.
It's called bounding?
Bonding.
Bonding. Okay, so she's doing autoerotic bonding.
That's right. And I think that covers most of our characters.
Perrin?
Perrin, we see Perrin looking really distraught. We don't see him smiling or having a good time. He's just looking distraught along with Loyal, and we see him along with Uno, the dude with the eye patch. And it looks like there's some soldiers that are taking over a city, and Perrin and Loyal and Uno are not happy about it.
Hell yeah, dude. The only other thing that I remember, because like all these other new shots of people I don't know will just like go in one eye, out the other, because I'm just not registering. But I saw someone with just unnaturally long Freddy claws.
Ooh, yeah. Hell yeah. We surmise that that's probably, one of the people that came on that boat at the very end of season 1.
I'm on a boat and I'll make a wave and then I'm up to the place that Steve thought would happen.
Yep. So I assume that she's with them. That mask is cool as shit looking. Looks like I got to compare it to Game of Thrones. There was a character on Game of Thrones who had a mask like that, and that character did not amount to shit. It was a cool-ass looking character that did nothing. So I hope this cool-ass looking character with the mask and the long fingernails does something for us.
It reminded me of like Western RPG stuff.
I don't follow.
Meaning, if I say RPG, people will think like, oh, JRPG, Japanese stuff. So I'm just saying like Western RPGs that are more fantasy-based.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something you'd see in there, like a Diablo 2.
I think a good takeaway is just it obviously was a female, and we have a lot of strong female characters, and maybe this is just one more.
It makes me mad. Why can't there be more strong men?
More strong white men at that, like Rand.
No.
But we do have, we didn't see her, but we know it's happening thanks to Comic-Con. Elaine, not your old friend that introduced you to cool shit, but Elaine Trakan from the books. She's going to be making an appearance as a regular now. I don't know why they didn't show her much in the trailer. I think maybe we saw like a shot of her in the background, but she's going to be one of our main players.
Okay, her name's Alanith. It's something like that. You can't just like you have Rand. You like there are all these fantasy names. And my name's Elaine.
There's also a Matt. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but isn't it like short for
Matron.
Bartholomew?
Yes.
What is it?
Matrim. Yes.
Yeah, okay, see, holy matrimony, it's Matt.
Yep. I think that we covered all the bases there, and if you don't have anything else, I know that another trailer is going to be coming out probably within the next month that will be featuring Elaine because they promised a couple new scenes. Is it looking good to you, James?
I mean, yeah, the show is good. Why would I think less of... Yeah,
I'm just
not
checking
like,
in,
oh
man.
my God, it's season 2 sucks. I don't think I've ever... The only time I've stopped watching a show, and it's only been twice, Gossip Girl. After season 2, they just kept rehashing the same storyline over and over again.
Okay.
And I guess Pretty Little Liars, but I didn't have friends to watch it with, so that was a different reason. And Bates Motel. After season 1 was so good, and then the second season just became, I'm pretty sure because of Breaking Bad, just about the weed business in Northern California.
Right.
And it was like a crime, very Breaking Bad-esque story. But I think Nicole and I should go back to it because it's a pretty trashy show, so we got to watch it for that instead of like, this is prestige television. No, absolutely. A boy almost makes out with his mom in an episode. So like, yeah, that's the level of show you should be expecting, James.
Okay, well, I picked the right person to do this with, James. Thank you, because I will ditch on a show like in a heartbeat if I don't like something.
Oh.
So I'm glad you're on board with this. I'm totally on board with it. I've been looking forward to it forever. So this is great,
wait.
man. What?
I
Wait.
also ditched on Big Bang Theory. Granted, I think I got 9 seasons into it.
Damn.
But it's only because my friend MC Deep explained the formula of the show, and then all I could do is like see, oh, these aren't jokes. These are just... he was like, all the show is Sheldon hears... it's Rugrats. Sheldon hears something, interpret it in his own
Right.
smart brain, like the pirate light is a pilot light to the Rugrats. And then he does it his way, and then it's like, whoops, I did it wrong because my brain works differently. I'm so smart. And then they're like, Sheldon. And after that, I was like, well, wait, shit. Yeah, this isn't... Even though I never like had a hard gut laugh, it was a relaxing show to watch. You want something easy. But after it was explained to me, oh boy. Which, hey, Formulaic, the new podcast with R2 Shelby 2 and I, we're breaking down the formulas of shows, and you better believe we will be doing Big Bang Theory. We already have a fantastic plot devised. Hey guys, Formulaic, R2 Shelby 2 and I, we break down the formula, the plot structure of a show into an outline, then we mad lib that outline, then we write the script in an entire hour. It's done, baby, there. And then the next episode, we do a table read of said thing. It's available wherever podcasts are found. Formulaic, or go to mlmpod.com for more info.
James gave his plug. I'm going to go ahead and do one of my plugs now. I don't even know what we were talking about, but that was a good transition. I wanted to mention that the music that we've been listening to underneath here, very nice and quiet music underneath, is provided to us by Instrumental Humans, friends from Instagram. Don't know if they're actual humans or robots, but this is noise music made for humans. So that's what we've been jamming to here is Instrumental Humans. And as for me, I'm at Introvoid. Check me out there, intro.void. Please keep listening and keep this feed open because we're going to be dropping episodes anytime anything Wheel of Time happens. Mm-hmm. We're going to be on it. James, you plugged Formulaic. You got anything else going on before we bust out of here?
Yes. On October 30th, we're launching another new podcast, a Marshland Media podcast called The Height of Horror, where Presley Bracken from Parents Under the Stairs... you've probably wondered, hey, or you've heard people say, what's the worst year in horror movies? What's the best year in horror movies?
Right.
Well, we are going to just pick a year, take 13 movies from that year, and review that. Like, do a discussion about them. It's going to be funny, it's going to be humorous, and we're going to break down the conception that there was bad years or good years in horror. As long as you got 12 max or minimum a year, that's a good year in horror movies, and we're hoping that we get to as many years as possible. It's going to be fun, and I really like this format because we're picking not just like the big budget theater movies, we're finding TV movies straight to video, so it's going to be a lot of things that maybe podcasts out there haven't discussed because we're kind of digging in deep.
Heck yeah, man. Marshland Media Empire. It's going strong, buddy. I'm glad you're putting new podcasts out because I like your old podcasts, but I always like new things too. I'm one of those guys that love, I can listen to the same thing over and over and over again, but then give me something new. It's going to go right into the mix. I mean, I do not shun new stuff. I love this. And I've already heard Problematic, the first episode with Scooby-Doo. Formulaic problem.
It's out right now. Scooby-Doo was the first episode we did.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, formulaic and not people under the stairs. God damn it! I gotta cut all this now.
The height of horror.
Yeah, there you go, James. I'm flustered. We're gonna get out of here, buddy. But thank you so much for watching the trailer with me. Thanks for joining me as always. And I'm never going to say I see you again. I got to come up with a new intro, but I do want to say...
I hear you.
We might... James, you've been saying that since episode 1, and I think it's taken this long, 50 episodes later, to agree with you that is going to be our call-in. But our outro is always, James, I care about you, I thank you, so I want you to always find water and shade.
Hey, sir, you find water and shade as well.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.